Yo, what's up everybody? Welcome to the K&C show. I am your Let's Player Blackwin, and I am playing an interesting game. It's actually a demo that you can find on the PlayStation Store right now. It is called 428 Shibuya Scramble. So I read a little bit about this game, and it looks like it was released a while back in Japan on the Wii back in 2008. So now it got ported over to the US, and it's actually going to get released September 4th, 2018. And I don't know too much about this game. I think this is a full motion video game like Night Trap, but it's more like a visual novel aspect to it. It's developed by Spike Chunsoft, if you saw the developer credit earlier. And they help with a lot of games, like when they used to be called Chunsoft, they helped with a lot of Dragon Quest games, and also they did Danganronpa as well for the Vita and also PlayStation 4. So I'm going to start a new game. I don't know how long this demo lasts, but we'll just play till the end here. Okay, so they call bookmark save points or save slots. Okay. Do you want the guide to game, or do you want the guide to gameplay to be displayed? Okay, we'd recommend that first time players select yes. Sure, why not? I am a first time player. Alright, I don't know what end and bad means on that save slot. This story is a work of fiction. Named characters, places, and incidents either are products of the author's imaginations or are used fictitiously. Any resemblance to actual... Let me read the rest! But yeah, Spike Chunsoft, as you can see right there. Alright, let's see how this game goes. Oh, wow. Ooh, I like the music. Okay, I'm feeling it. So it's kind of starting out like a movie? Okay. Helicopter landing pad on that little tower right there. You think they show the actors with the names that they're appearing, but whatever. Oh, that's cool. Indoor soccer right there. You can see it. I'm liking the music, though. The music is wonderful right off the bat. Oh yeah. Like I said, it literally feels like I'm watching a movie. So, let's see how this goes. And you don't see a lot of full motion video games as well nowadays. I believe they were abundant back in the day, like in the 90s, 80s even. The only one I really remember that I kind of tried out was Night Trap, but I didn't really play too much of it back then. Alright, well. Oh wow. Shinjuku hostage situation, alright. Middle-aged man is ski mask, took several employees hostage in an office. Gotcha. Ooh, wow. I wonder how the gameplay is gonna be like. Is it gonna be mostly choices? Do I make choices most of the time? Do I actually get to move around in the character's view? We'll see. I've been deceived. Alpha. Okay. Oh. What's going on? Nice ringtone. Wait, does the car blow up? Oh, it does? Ooh, that sucks. Shibuya's story is yours to tell. Alright, well, let's get into it. As you play through the game, the various mechanics will be explained. Alright. At 428, you follow the stories of multiple protagonists at once. Interesting. Your decisions impact their experiences as you read the story. What does the day hold in store? Their fate is in your hands. Okay. Hopefully you can see them all through to the end. To start, you have two characters, Shinya Kano and Achi Endo. Okay. Let's begin by checking out Kano's story. Locked out for now. Interesting. Character select screen. Alright, let's start with Kano. It just stares at you when you choose him. Interesting. Just 2 more minutes to go. Shinya Kano noted the time again on his watch, scowling at the slow creep of the second hand. The time was 9:58 a.m. Furrows of consternation creased his forehead. He wasn't nervous, but he knew better than to expect everything to go smoothly. Keeping a level head was proving rather difficult. There was no room for failure. Lives were on the line here. He eyed his surroundings, okay. Was the perp really going to show up? When? Where would he be coming from? How would he make his approach? Oh, this is cool. The Shibuya Scramble was as packed as ever. A throng of people crossing this way and that, blissfully unaware of the dozens of detectives hidden in its midst. Okay. Alright, another minute and a half. Kano glanced down at his watch yet again. A mere 30 seconds had passed. Detective Kano had been with the enforcement arm of Shibuya's criminal affairs section for a year now, but he'd never been part of an operation this big before. He eyed the young woman standing beside the statue up ahead. She was small enough to get lost in the crowd, and she carried a nondescript attaché case, if that's how you say it. Alright. Hitomi Osawa, age 19. The attaché case in her hands contained a full 50 million yen in cash. Yesterday, her twin sister Maria had been kidnapped. This was the ransom payment, okay? The culprit had called Hitomi last night at home, referring to her by name and telling her to wait by the statue of Hachiko in Shibuya. It was almost time, but nothing. Kano was staring fixedly at the second hand on his watch when a homeless man sitting on the sidewalk murmured just loud enough for him to hear. Come on, Kano. Quit looking at your watch so much. What if the kidnapper sees you? Kano tried to look nonchalant as he lifted his eyes, but the scruffy character continued. You're too nervous. Just relax already. You're the one acting suspicious, Sasayama. Kano frowned. Why would some homeless guy be talking to me? Yuji Sasayama was the senior officer of the Shibuya Precinct Criminal Affairs Division, 5 years older than Kano, okay? Some words and phrases in the text appear in blue from what the guide is telling me. These are called tips. Press square to unalign a tip, then press X. This will let you read some extra info relating to that word or phrase. Okay, so you get more insight on the blue words. There are tips containing general knowledge and ones that are 428 specific. These are marked with a magnifying glass and a 428 logo respectively. Alright, so let's do this with highlight it with square or underline it and then press X to select. Okay, so you get more information. Okay, official name, Shibuya Central Precinct, responsible for the safety of approximately 200,000 people in 32 neighborhoods, including Yohara. I can't read most of those names. Sorry, I'm gonna be botching all these names here, so I'll just skip that part. All right. He always went a little overboard with the disguises. Okay. He claimed it was all part of the job, but word around the station was that he just liked playing dress up. How nice. Hey pal, spare some change? Sasayama lurched to his feet and shuffled in close to Kano. Hey, knock that off. Fittingly for the part, Sasayama reeked pretty badly. Well, ain't so suspicious now, huh? He clung to Kano with mock camaraderie, despite the younger man's attempts to pull away. Come on, Sasayama, cut it out. Sasayama's blithe confidence rattled Kano's nerves. Of course, there was good reason for that confidence. Sorry, I was reading that in his voice when I shouldn't. This was Kano and Sasayama's jurisdiction, but they were positioned a good distance from where the handoff was to take place. Oh, it's blue. Time to tip it. Underline. Get the tip. What's going on here? Oh, it just gives you the terminology for it. Okay, particular region over an organization, yada yada. Okay, let's skip that. Yep. Okay. I don't care. Statue of Hachiko was surrounded by elite investigations from one of the HQ's special investigations. Okay, so there's two blue ones I haven't underlined yet. So sometimes two or oh, okay, the guide. Sometimes two or more tips will appear on a single screen. Press square repeatedly to change which words are underlined. Highlight the tip. Okay. You wish to read, then press X, yada yada, or press circle to reading the story. Okay, I know about the statues. It's based on that movie Hachi, if I remember right. But this is actually a real story about a dog waiting for his owner when the owner passed away, and they have the dog embodied as a statue, and it's called the statue of Hachiko. So you can see the statue right there. He's actually right by that poster. I'll underline it. You guys can read the tip. Bronze statue of a dog erected in 1934. The dog was famous for loyally waiting for his absent master. Yep. So Hachiko, well known as a meetup spot outside of Shibuya Station. Other popular meetup spots at the station are the display car for the original Tokyo 5000 series, commonly known as the Green Frog, and the Moyai statue by the west entrance. So yeah, okay, so it's mostly just underlining and understanding these definitions. Yeah, I don't care. Let's go. Kano and his partner were just there to provide backup if the kidnapper attempted to flee. Look, just try to relax. We'll be fine. Sasayama gave him a wink. Okay. A moment later, the radio squawked in Kano's ear. Alright, everyone. It's time. Keep your eyes open. The voice coming in through the earpiece was Koji Kuze, HQ's operations director. I'm not going to underline anymore. It's pretty much just a every time you do it, it's just a definition that you look up. Until last year, he'd been the Shibuya Precinct's head detective and Kano's supervisor. We don't know when the perp is going to make contact. Don't let your guard down. Kuze's low, gravelly voice echoed in Kano's ear. Why is Sasayama so close to him? Kano's looking and Sasayama's like right up in his neck right there. You don't sound too worried, Kuze. Kano winced at Sasayama's words. How could the man be so nonchalant? The appointed time had come and gone. Something should be happening. Whap! Kano smacked himself in the thigh to release a little tension. The sound was louder than he had intended. Though the suit hid his muscular physique, it did little to dampen the noise. He needed to stay focused. He might be called to action at any moment. Alright, still waiting for the kidnapper here. The department handled abduction cases according to a certain standard investigation procedure. Was it an attempt to extort money, or was the motive something personal? The answer to that question determined how they deal with the criminal. And based on the investigation team's initial findings this time around, they probably weren't dealing with a professional kidnapper. Still, in all likelihood, it was someone with quite a long rap sheet. Probably someone who knew the family, but so far they had few leads on who might bear such a grudge. With the situation so unclear, the plan was to apprehend whomever came to make the handoff on site. If the culprit ran with the money, there'd be no guarantee of the hostage's well-being. Okay? And if you saw in the bottom left corner, it does like auto-save, so that's pretty interesting. Still nothing. Sasayama muttered. There he is! He's here! Okay. So dramatic. Kuze broke in, his voice spiking into an excited chirp. Wait, okay, why would they put excited chirp as a definition? Let me check. Well, oh, stupid, it's his quirk. Subject is a young male in his 20s, wearing a bandana and an orange hoodie. Kuze, normally calm and stoic, was now squawking like an excited child. That only happened when he got particularly worked up. Kano and Sasayama steeled themselves. They could see the subject now. A 20-something male nonchalantly approached Hitomi to talk to her. Alright people, be ready to grab this guy. Kuze was stationed in the mobile command center not far from the intersection, keeping tabs on the situation via video surveillance from the camera team. The young man started speaking enthusiastically to Hitomi. The detectives watched, uncertain. Was this really the kidnapper? Oh, okay, here's your multiple choice. You'll encounter selections like these during the story. These choices will change the lives of other people in addition to changing your own fate. Use the D-pad to make your choice, then press X. Okay? The current choice will not impact you or of any other protagonist. Really. You know, let's get a better look. Let's choose option B. The situation still wasn't entirely clear. He needed to get a better look at things. The newcomer held a bundle of letter-sized paper which he showed to Hitomi as he went on talking. He tried to hand her one of the papers, but she pointedly ignored him. Undeterred, the man kept trying to foist it off on her. Hitomi refused to respond, becoming as motionless as the statue of Hachiko behind her, until finally the man gave up and walked away. Okay. Guess it wasn't him. Kano felt the tension of the moment linger in his spine. Guy must have been hitting on her, Sasayama muttered. There is a blue... Okay, what hitting on her? Succeeding at meeting someone on the fly like this takes a special knack. Looks are also important. Sometimes, of course, the person trying to get your attention out of nowhere is just trying to make a sales pitch. Yeah, okay, I get it. Oh my god. I mean, she is pretty cute and all. He had a point. He had a point, yes. Though, of course, something in Sasayama's voice made Kano brace himself. She's got nothing on my Mi-chan. Who's Mi-chan? Mi-chan was Sasayama's wife. They'd gotten married just last month. Really. The look on his face. Let me tell you, Kano, married life is the best. You gotta hurry up and give it a try for yourself. This was Sasayama's favorite topic lately, and Kano was getting more and more fed up with it. I can tell by his face. Sasayama, come on, just knock it off, okay? The phrase had become a common refrain of his since the department partnered them. Fine, fine. Let's talk about your girlfriend then. Huh? Now? You can't be serious. Sasayama leaned in close again. What's she like? We are not having this conversation. Kano muttered, looking away. Ah, come on. Sasayama set his hand on Kano's chest, still playing the homeless troublemaker. Show me your phone. Let me see your lock screen. Huh? Sasayama pawed for the phone. You've got to pick up your girl on your lock screen, yeah? I do not. But he did. It was scary how on the mark Sasayama's instincts were. Hey, cut it out. We're in the middle of an investigation. I am investigating, Sasayama chuckled as he plucked the phone from Kano's pocket. He just took his phone. His face crunched up with astonishment as he looked at the lock screen. The heck is this? It's not... Ain't this Masami Nagahama? Okay, this might be something I need to figure out. Who the hell is that? A national star tends to play the heroine on national morning soap operas or national historic dramas. Her songs have been a series of national hits, and she's been slated to host of the year end. Okay, she's a celebrity. Gotcha. Kano realized he had to bite the bullet. No, that's my girlfriend. Her name's Rumi, and she's... Sasayama cut him off. You're telling me this ain't Masami Nagahama, the famous actress? Because this right here is Masami Nagahama. Like I said, you sly old dog, trying to make like you're dating Masami Nagahama. I'm not. I mean, I guess Rumi does kind of look like her. Sasayama let out a huff. For real? You really think I'm gonna fall for that? There's nothing to fall for, I swear. Sasayama scowled, unconvinced. Alright, then why don't you marry her? Kano stammered, but he had no answer. The truth was, he would have happily married her already, but there were obstacles that needed to be overcome. Okay, playtime's over. Let's focus on the job. Sasayama handed back Kano's phone and turned his gaze back to Hitomi. Kano let out a quick uneasy sigh, but his shoulders did feel looser. Maybe Sasayama had been trying to relieve a bit of the tension. Maybe he should be grateful. My words are stuttering. So much reading. By now, several minutes had passed since the guy with the papers had gone away. He peered at Hitomi. The strain on her face was visible. In addition to the weight of the attaché case itself, the 5,000, 10,000 yen bills it held weighed close to 6 kilos. Her slender arms must have been getting tired. Still, she refused to set the case down. She wasn't taking any chances with her sister's life. The kidnapping case had begun the day before, at around 7 p.m. Is this a flashback? Okay. This is MPD dispatch. The Shibuya precinct is reporting a missing person believed to be an abduction. Subject is Maria Osawa, a 19-year-old student at Midoriyama Academy, last seen at the LL Diner near a campus. A man was allegedly seen forcing her into a car nearby. All officers in the vicinity report to the scene at once. Kano and Sasayama had been working a burglary case in Jungumai's 5th district when they got the call. Again, I'm not very good at pronouncing these words. LL Diner, okay. The two arrived at the LL Diner at 7:15 p.m. At roughly the same time, several other officers showed up to secure the area, blocking off entry to nearby roadways and monitoring the surrounding establishments. Oh, so that's what he looks like if he doesn't look like a bum. Yeah, he looks pretty cleaned up. Inside the restaurant, Kano and Sasayama were met by the girl who'd reported the kidnapping. It was the victim's twin sister, Hitomi. Could you tell us about when Maria was taken, starting from the very beginning? Kano said, keeping his voice low. My sister and I, we were supposed to go to a party together today. Hitomi was troubling. Her voice hoarse, if I said it right. But I messed up the time. I showed up right at 7, an hour later than I was supposed to. So Maria had gone alone to the party, a mixer for locals and exchange students. Hitomi, arriving late, had showed up just in time to glance out through the restaurant window and see her sister getting shoved into a car. Whoa. She described the vehicle as a blue station wagon of Japanese make. Why would something like this happen to her? Hitomi held back her tears, but she was shaking all over. Did you get a good look at the kidnapper? Yes, it was a man, middle-aged. Where did this guy come from? There is another eyewitness, Leland Palmer. He identified himself as a lecturer at Hitomi and Maria's school. I saw too. Why was he here in the first place? I thought it was a party mixer. Okay. It's like Hitomi says. I heard Hitomi cry out, and so I went to the window to look. And his Japanese was halting, as if he hadn't been in the country very long. And I think that maybe the kidnapper was working alone. Leland explained that he'd seen the man shove Maria into the back seat, then clamber into the driver's seat. If he had an accomplice, wouldn't they have been driving? Neither Hitomi nor Leland had gotten a look at the suspect's face. Kano was interviewing others who had been on the scene looking for other potential witnesses when his phone rang. It was Yoshio Kajiwara, one of the senior detectives. We've set up a task force for the investigation. Get back to the station once you have a handle on the situation there. Barely half an hour had passed between the time the kidnapping was reported and the time the task force began operation. I don't need to know what the task force is, no worries. When Kano and Sasayama got back to the precinct station, Kuze had already arrived from HQ. He informed them that a response team had been formed to investigate the victim's home. Kano could feel a peculiar tension in the air. Unfamiliar MPD detectives scurried to and fro around the Shibuya offices. I'm literally reading a story to you guys. He pulled one of them aside to get a quick update. Well, yeah, she looks like her twin sister. An hour had now passed since the kidnapping. There had been one new development. The perpetrator had made a threatening call to the victim's home. He said the following: tomorrow, 10 a.m., by Hachiko in Shibuya. Have the sister, Hitomi, bring 50 million yen. If not, the girl's life is forfeit. Or something like that, I guess. Is this asshole eating a banana? Kajiwara from the precinct was put on the response team along with detectives from elsewhere who had received special training in abduction cases and eating bananas, apparently. Normally, a local precinct detective wouldn't have gone undercover in a victim's home. Kuze, however, had decided that having a knowledgeable local was crucial and had sent Kujiwara along. The detectives disguised themselves as delivery people and movers to make their way inside without arousing suspicion, arriving there at 8:30. The response team had come prepared to run a trace if the kidnapper contacted the family a second time, okay? But there were no further calls. Ooh. Just one call. And we're back. Kano checked his watch again. 20 minutes had now passed since the time designated for the ransom handoff. The kidnapper had yet to appear. Crap. You think we might have spooked him? He wondered aloud. Hey, stay calm. Sasayama scanned the passing throng. He's just playing with us. Why'd this guy even pick this place? Kano voiced the question he'd been asking himself ever since he'd heard the kidnapper's demands. Sasayama shrugged. Figure he must want to blend in with the crowd, nab the money, and disappear before anyone knows he's there. Would be my guess. In that case, why not pick Shinjuku or Ginza? The big crowd didn't just benefit the kidnapper after all. It also allowed the police to use the sea of people to conceal their operation. Well, yeah, there's a lot of people there. From what this photo is showcasing anyways. Right now, there were 50 detectives stationed within a 50-meter radius of where Hitomi stood. The kidnapper would be taking a major risk if his plan was to nab the ransom money and run. That's what bothered Kano. Any criminal with half a brain would know better than to do a handoff in front of Hachiko. Yeah, it's kind of obvious. You're doing it right in front of a really, tourist attraction area, and the statue itself, which is pretty famous. You're overthinking things, pal. Sasayama grumbled. No, I'm not. Kano reached into his pocket and pulled out his notepad. Okay. This was Kano's dick diary, which he always kept close at him. Alright. Well, let's see what's inside. Sasayama rolled his eyes. That thing again? Kano ignored him, flipping through the notepad pages. Aha! Here it is. Dictum number 89. The more irrelevant something seems, the more relevant it's bound to be. Wow, you took up all the space on that just to write on both pages of that. It was a favorite saying of Kiyozu Tatino, I don't know, an assistant inspector from the Shibuya precinct. Tatino was the kind of detective Kano aspired to be. For the current operation, he'd been placed in charge of Hitomi's personal safety. He was in position to defend her as soon as the ransom had been handed off. Of course, Hitomi hadn't been informed of how much protection she was under. Ooh. And so there's a bunch of detectives, like they mentioned earlier in the story. And they're all just hiding or probably in disguise. There was a risk that if she acted too secure, it might alert the kidnapper. I think Tatino has the right idea. Sasayama snorted quietly. Maybe, he's a great detective. Don't get me wrong. But do you know how many irrelevant things there are to consider? Again, Kano ignored him. It didn't matter if nobody else understood. Kano had faith in Tatino as both a detective and as an individual. He had first witnessed Tatino's brilliance during a standoff at a financial company 3 years earlier. A man had shut himself in an office, splashing gasoline everywhere and threatening to set the place ablaze. While the others hesitated, Tatino unflinchingly doused himself with gasoline and strode into the building, where he managed to talk the man down and secure the scene. Oh, there you go. A younger, inexperienced Kano. The others had been awestruck by Tatino's actions. And Kano, who at the time had been content to be a run-of-the-mill policeman, had found it quite inspiring. Okay. Still, Sasayama murmured under his breath. As great a detective as Tatino is, it's not like anyone else in the world has ever heard of him. I suppose not, Kano said. So? Again with the bananas. Is there like a theme going on here with the bananas? Well, I like how in-depth they get into the pictures and the still pictures here, because they mentioned Sasayama's married. He has the ring to showcase that on his finger. I don't know why he's eating a banana. That might be some kind of hint. Only time anyone ever hears a cop's name is if he's caught up in some scandal or killed in the line of duty. Doesn't really seem fair, does it? Kano just shrugged. It was a strange definition of unfair, really. You've got celebrity chefs and celebrity hairdressers and stuff. So how come no celebrity gumshoes, Look, please. Can you just focus on what we're doing here? Kano rubbed his eyes to turn his attention back to Hitomi. What's the matter? Didn't sleep? Not enough, I guess. Did you eat? Didn't have time. How about that banana? Between bringing in supplies for the base of operations, ridding the team's vehicles, Photocopying hundreds of documents and various other tasks, Kano had barely slept the previous night and hadn't gotten a meal in either. Ugh, sorry, I'm pronouncing it slowly because my mouth is really dry. What have you been doing? Sasayama puffed out his chest. Saving up my energy for today. So, you were sleeping, and probably eating bananas. Kano gave a wry chuckle at his partner's lack of shame. There he is! Kusei's voice chirped suddenly through Kano's earpiece. Alright, there's some action going on here. A man in his 20s wearing a sleeveless red jacket. He's carrying a garbage bag. A young man had emerged from the crowd about 15 feet from where Hitomi was standing. He strode toward her, a sinister look on his face. He didn't match Hitomi's description, but Kano felt a jolt of nerves all the same. Maybe the kidnapper had hired some young street punk to snatch the ransom payment. That our guy? What do you think, Kano? Sasayama whispered. Yeah, I think he's gotta be. This was it. Kano swallowed the lump in his throat. He bent his knees, ready to act fast. Why would he be the suspect? Were they given a description earlier? I don't know. They just pointed it out that's him. Blood rushed to his leg muscles, banishing the stiffness that had begun to take hold. Could this be the culprit? Or perhaps... The young man tried to snatch the briefcase from Hitomi, but she clung to it with desperate strength. It was him! The detectives rushed in. Oh, tackled his ass. Whoa, hey, what the hell? The young man cried out frantically and tried to dart away, but the officers closed in, forcing him bodily to the ground. I think he was actually maybe being nice and trying to help her. Target secured. Oh, jeez, I think we got another suspect on the scene. Eek, he's taking the ransom. Kusei's hysterics made Kano spin around. Sure enough, a foreign-looking man was sprinting away, attaché case in hand. The mob of detectives scrambled to pursue. So he was a distraction, or he wasn't part of it. That's what I was thinking. Before Kano could react, most of them had run off, leaving him to look after the original suspect. I'm not gonna lie, this is a very long demo for one person. What should I do with this guy, sir? He might have some connections to the kidnapper. Should I bring him in? Huh? Oh, sure, that'd be swell. I'm on it. With the help of one of the remaining detectives, Kano brought the suspect back to the Shibuya precinct. Hey, it's that other person that you could have chose on the character selection. Look, how many times do we have to go through this? Cut the crap. In the interrogation room, the young man who gave his name as Achi Endo steadfastly, I don't know how to pronounce that, insisted on his innocence. Why'd you try to steal that case? Kano watched Achi's face intently. Like I said, it looked heavy, so I was just trying to help her out. That's what I kind of figured. It wasn't inconceivable that a young guy would want to help a pretty girl. But Hitomi had just been standing there, hardly in desperate need of assistance. She hadn't set the case down, so I figured there had to be something important inside. An entry from Kano's Dick Diary shot through his mind. Dick Dictum number 25. When the tongue slips, grab it and yank out the truth. Classic advice for questioning. Something important you say, such as, how the heck would I know? Achi spat. He huffed and slumped back in his chair. This standard textbook back and forth had been going on for nearly an hour. Kano didn't mind. Chasing down criminals was all well and good, but questioning suspects was another key part of the job. Plenty of off-the-scene work went into cracking a case. Once again, he had Achi explain what he'd been doing starting from the beginning. When Kano finally emerged from the interrogation room for a short break, he learned that there had been some progress on the case at the crime scene. What the police hadn't been able to determine yet, however, was whether or not Maria was safe. Fighting back his anxiety, Kano consulted his Dick Diary. Dick Dictum number 54. Haste makes waste. Okay. He felt his tension subside, Remembering the right maxim always helped. It was like casting a magic spell. Kano returned to confront Achi once more. You were there to act as a distraction, to mess up the investigation. That could be the case. Maybe. Weren't you? Huh? Achi looked a bit dumbfounded. What are you on about? Dictum number 55. The truth hungers to be free. You hungry? Got some katsudan if you like. I think katsudan is noodles, but you know what? Let's do an underlined tip just in case. Okay, it's a dan. I remember Food Wars where they had a competition where they had to make a dan or something, and it's over rice. So Japanese dish consisting of a bowl of white rice, topped with breaded pork cutlet and egg. Oh, katsudan. Sorry about that. Breaded pork over rice and egg. Alright, well that's cool. Achi nodded silently. Why would he bring that to an interrogation room? You're trying to bribe him with food? Achi devoured the full bowl of katsudan with gusto. He looked like he hadn't eaten in a while. Alright then, spill it. What's this guy after? Achi just shrugged. I don't know, he murmured. A thick slice of egg-laden pork between his teeth. How many accomplices do you have? Kano asked. But Achi just shook his head as he inhaled his food. Resignedly, Kano flipped through his notebook once more. Let's see, number 115. Dictum number 115. Use the lights to your advantage. As the minutes ticked past, he found himself referring to his book again and again, trying a dozen different methods to tease out whatever his suspect might be hiding. The experience began to feel strangely surreal, their two voices echoing hollowly in the interrogation room. Shine the lights on him? Sure! Eventually, Kano looked at the clock and realized that the questioning had been going on for nearly 5 hours. Jesus Christ. He still hadn't made any headway. Long interrogation and you gave him a bowl of food? Jeez. What was he supposed to do next? Tatino would know, but he sure didn't. Still, he was determined to do whatever he could to keep the victim and her family safe. Gritting his teeth in frustration, he perused the Dick Diary like it was a scripture, like a Bible, yeah. This guy just looks at him and is like, what? Why am I here? Number 116. The monotonous questioning was clearly tiring Achi out. His eyelids drooped like they were beginning to get heavy. Number 117. Get them when they're tired. Kano's eyes gleamed. You're part of some criminal gang, huh? Achi's head slumped forward heavily. Nodding off was basically the same as nodding yes, right? Mr. Kuze, what? He did not say yes! He fell asleep because you were boring. The young guy who grabbed at the handoff site, he finally confessed to the crime. What? What are you talking about? Kuze laughed in disbelief. We're just about to apprehend the mastermind here. You dumbass. You are a dumbass, Kuze. Huh? Kano clutched his cell phone, dumbstruck. Listen, why don't you, look, just wait there at HQ, okay? No, it can't be. You're a dumbass. He just went to sleep. After the kidnapping case wrapped up, Kano tendered his resignation. Yes, I'm not cut out to be a detective after all, he thought to himself. He dropped the Dick Diary on his desk as he left the Shibuya precinct for the last time. What the heck? Bad end! So long, Shibuya. Kano wound up at the bad end. However, this does not mean that the choice you made for Kano was the wrong one. One of the other protagonists, Acho Endo, has an impact on Kano's fate here. You can avoid a bad end by making proper decisions in another character's story. For a detailed hint, check the tip by underlining the bad end title. Press okay. Okay, detailed. So long, Shibuya. Kano had every reason to suspect Acho Endo, but arresting him turned out to be a mistake. If Acho hadn't been approached, If Achi hadn't approached Otomi, this wouldn't have happened. Try playing Achi's story up to 10:30 and make a choice that keeps him from going up to her. If you do that, Kano won't even have a chance to arrest him, and things should play out. Oh, okay. Wow. So I'll have to play the other character just to see what I could change about that. So that's pretty interesting. So yeah, your choices will affect the other characters. That's pretty cool. Alright, so I'm going to end the video right here. So that's it for Kano's side. I guess I'll do a part 2 and do Achi Endo's story to see what I can change about that. So other than that though, I do thank you guys for checking out this first gameplay part for 428 Shibuya Scramble. And in the meantime, you guys just have a wonderful day and peace out.